Ladies and gentlemen, it is no surprise that quality education is seen as one of the top 4 sustainable development goals set by the United Nations. Education is so prominent that it becomes one of the biggest drivers for sustainable and economic growth for our future. Hello, my name is Omar and I'm here to talk about this topic. 2 years ago, the world had went south. Everyone closed their doors in fear of the new virus that had emerged. As a consequence, the youth, the people of tomorrow, were all unable to attend school because of the new lockdown order that had been imposed. Instead, they all resorted to a phase of online learning. A year had passed and we entered 2021. You wanted to see if online learning was effective or not. Turns out, it didn't really go as we expected. And this was all due to digital divide. The digital divide issue is no stranger to us. Though Malaysians, 90% of them own smartphones, it doesn't really prove much about their digital literacy or accessibility to the internet. Listen to the stories of people who would climb trees just for them to do an exam online. This is digital divide, and sometimes the rural areas are badly and severely affected by it. Factors such as generational differences and education quality. Firstly, what do we mean by generational differences? Generally, a student's experience in using the internet is different, most likely higher than a teacher who has zero experience in video calling. This also relates to education quality. Sometimes online learning does not appeal to every subject that students learn, such as in lab work or maybe if you want to do woodwork, and it becomes almost impossible to appeal to these certain subjects. It should be clear by now that it is only principally just if we were to advocate in helping solve these problems in society. Fortunately, there are already solutions in helping address this problem. Awareness and donation bodies have been created by individuals as a collective effort to help in assisting the underprivileged. This is combined with the government giving national funding, cheaper goods, as well as tax exemptions in order to provide the B40 and M40 citizens with devices to properly connect to the internet. The amount of drawbacks from online learning sometimes curtains the vast potential opportunities that might come with online learning. We have to realize that this isn't necessarily the worst thing in the world. Compare this if the push for innovation didn't exist for us today. You also must take into account examples such as public speaking competitions, robotics, or even debates that probably could not be done face-to-face anymore because of the dangers that is happening in this world right now. The push for innovation also solves the problem of education quality. What do we mean by this? The fact that I can search up on Google and get way more results than if I were to rely on books and have to memorize the facts inside of these books shows that there are benefits and it really is effective, the idea of online learning. Fine. We can even go so far as to talk about hybrid classes, meaning that we combine both physical classes with the new elements of online learning to create the best education system for us. For example, the implementation of this TV in a classroom to ensure that no workbooks would then be needed for students who might just not be able to afford it. Instead, they can just do their work here, maybe even snap a picture, screenshot it at one point in order for their future references. We can also talk about quiz apps, such as Quizzes or Kahoot, in order to simulate tests or pop quizzes. So that students with the fun concept at play, they are more interested and more intrigued. Ladies and gentlemen, we now enter 2022. Suffice to say, a lot has changed for the better. We concede that online learning does have its drawbacks, and plenty, in fact. However, the boundaries of technological advancement is endless. Heck, we might even have artificial intelligence teaching us way better than humans can now in the future. Don't you think it's getting a bit too dark here? Sure, PDPR might be ending soon. However, there have been so many opportunities because of this lockdown that we can't bear to just dispose of when it's over. The success of PDPR is so vast and so huge to the point that it might just prove to us that implementing online elements into traditional learning might just be the next big thing.